All right, guys, how y'all doing? Exciting week 18 going on. We had some clinchers, some duds. JDB Sports back here again. We're here on Thursday instead of Saturday. We want to enjoy playoff football just as much as you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do our stream today and get this looked at. So, we got without further ado, we got our plays down here. Peyton, you want to take the lead with I guess we could talk about that Chiefs game first.
Yeah, let's talk about Broncos Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs played in this game. I think it was just the Broncos out in the field. It might as well have been the Chiefs conceding from the get-go, save the Broncos, give each other another rest week, even the backups for the Chiefs. Because I mean, another week off for the Chiefs now with all their starters. They're going to be healthy, ready for the playoffs. But regardless, still impressive performance by Bo Nix. He did what he needed to do at home. Defense came to play, and 38-0 shellacking to get the Broncos in the playoffs.
Freaking goose egg for Carson Wentz. He didn't throw those 5 touchdowns like I imagined, but anyways, yeah, really a game that really meant nothing for the Chiefs. They still have the first seed, I believe, in first round bye, right? Yeah.
Yep.
They basically have that much well needed rest there. So I guess we'll go ahead for the Bills. I mean, that's another playoff team we got going on. They were defeated in this game by the Gerard Mayo led Patriots, 23-16. Patriots cost themselves the top draft pick with this one. Gerard Mayo was fired after the game. Well, after the game, whatever. He was fired.
Yeah. You're right after, pretty much.
Yeah, the game still served by the backups for the Bills. They still stayed within spitting distance really for most of the game. A few drives ended by a turnover on downs and a couple of field goals late for the Patriots to secure the victory.
Yeah.
Not really much to say about it other than, the backups played and the backups showed why they're backups.
Yep. Bills had nothing riding going into the game. They had Josh Allen continue his start streak. I don't know how many games, but he started all games for them the past couple seasons. He's been the starter and really just showing why he's an Iron Man. And then they pulled him after the first play. They had nothing to play for at that point, so just rest up and get ready for the Broncos this weekend. So.
All right, I guess we can hit Ravens as well. They beat the brakes off of Cleveland 35-10 in a game that saw Bailey Zappi and DTR each play snaps. Looking awful doing it, really. The Ravens played their starters and effectively stomped out their AFC North foe behind Derrick Henry's 136-yard and 2-touchdown day, along with Jackson completing half his passes for, playing mistake-free football, also throwing for 2 touchdowns on the day. Not really too much to say other than the Browns are the Browns, and, Browns fans look forward to next year, man. Hopefully, see what happens. Kevin Stefanski's going to be your coach, and who knows what's going to happen with D. Watson and what y'all do about getting another quarterback on the roster, because Bailey Zappi and DTR, y'all limping. Limping's an understatement on that one.
Yeah, might be the worst quarterback room I've seen for a while. I mean, Deshaun Watson as your primary starter, and then you got backups of Jameis Winston, DTR, Bailey Zappi. It's just not a good offense when it comes to that, despite Jerry Jeudy having a Pro Bowl year. But yeah, Ravens lock up the division title with this win. It allows the Steelers to kind of just play for their wild card seeding and everything, and really not too impressive of a performance by Baltimore, even though the score says differently. However, they got the job done, and that's all they needed to do. So.
All right, for sure, yeah. Well,
but yeah.
Ready
Let's
for
move into the Steeler game, I guess.
Wait, are we ready for playoff football in B-more? What do they play? Who do they play this week coming up?
They play the Steelers.
Are we ready for another Steelers-Baltimore matchup? And who do you think takes the win on this one? A skidding Steelers team and a Baltimore Ravens team that kind of has iffy trouble in the playoffs. Who are you taking for that game if you had to pick? Because I'm gonna take take Lamar Jackson and think he avenges this playoff drought. So, what are you thinking?
I follow that same logic. Key injury for the Ravens is missing Zay Flowers this week. I think that will hurt him in the passing game. And the Steelers are pretty damn good in the run game. They're one of the best run defending teams in the league. Um, However, I just believe Lamar's going to be too much to contain and everything. He's going to have a little bit of the pressure taken off of him by Derrick Henry, and he's going to play his ball finally.
For sure. So, again, talking about Steelers, Bengals beat them 19-17 in a game which saw Mike Tomlin, for 18 years on the sideline, play a rookie mistake like Raheem Morris did a couple weeks ago and not use those damn timeouts. Did he not feel like it? Was he trying to save him for the playoffs or something or next season? Because
Especially,
yeah, come on now. They lost their seeding with this loss, as we talked about before, and moved down to the 6th. So, not really too much to say about that game other than crazy interdivisional matchup. Was Mike Tomlin paid by Mike Tomlin paid by the Bengals coaching staff to throw the game or what? Hey, I'll throw this in for you.
And especially when you have as good a kicker as Boswell's been this year. I think Chris Boswell's been the best kicker all year, in my opinion. As far as at least volume goes, and then the accuracy follows as well. So you had a chance to win and everything like that. It's just Russell Wilson's looked so unimpressive since 2 weeks after he starting.
Yeah, he's looking like his Denver Bronco days. I'm sure Denver's loving it right now. So, Lions. Talk about Lions right here. They wrapped up the North in the number 1 seed, bumped the Vikings down to the 5th seed like we talked about. In a crazy game, the Lions figured out Sam Darnold and the Vikings offense to win 31-9. Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 touchdowns on the ground and 1 through the air. Impressive man for this kid. They're getting Monty back, I believe, for the playoffs.
Yeah. That first round bye really helps them.
Yeah, let's go. Let's see what they do. Hopefully, even if Philly pulls out a win this week in the playoffs, maybe they face the Lions somehow, some way, and the Lions stomp them out like they deserve. I don't know. I don't know if it'll shake out that way. How seeding resets. I know it resets every week when the teams that advance forward, right? So who knows who?
So I think Lions play the lowest seed, and then it kind of goes from there on. So say there was a really strange upset and the Packers beat the Eagles, then the Packers would play the Lions in the next round. But most likely case scenario, the Lions would probably play either one of the Rams or the Vikings.
All right, for sure. So,
but really big win, and Vikings having that 5 seed, first 5 seed ever to be, what are they, 14-3?
Something like that, tough. Yeah. The best 14-3 5 seed. But Peyton, where's the egg, man?
Where's the egg?
Oh man, it's time. All right, JDB Sports, y'all fans, y'all understand. We had a bet last week. He said if the Vikings beat the Lions, I would have to egg myself, and vice versa. So now the Lions won. I won the bet. He's going to get that egg right now. Gonna smash that egg right on his head. And get going. So, other than Kevin O'Connell getting dismantled, they were like we were talking a little bit before stream about how the blitz was being sent at Darnold time and time again. 7 to 8 man fronts getting sent to Darnold, really disrupted him. We made a great point saying that Darnold liked to hold the ball a little too long, and they took advantage of that. So while we wait for Peyton here, we can go ahead and watch some of these highlights going on. If you got any comments, comments, concerns, throw them down in the chat box. We'll talk to you. Is your team in the playoffs? All right. Now, Mr. Peyton back here. I didn't go ahead along. I was going to go in the Bucks, but I was like, might as well wait for you to come back. All right. I didn't.
So
Yeah, we didn't go ahead in the
see
Bucks
where I
yet. We're just
see the
waiting for you.
remnants of it.
All
See the
right.
remnants. Because I'm gonna cape myself up so none of this falls on my carpet.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna cape like in front of my body. We're gonna do it this way. If
We have fun here on JDB. Probably see a couple of these
good.
next year.
Am I gonna?
Take a look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to break it up. Oh yeah.
It done fell.
Did it still fall on your carpet?
Nope.
Oh yeah, it's good for your hair. Spread it around. How does that feel, son?
It's my hair gel. Can you still hear me clearly?
Yeah, a little far away, but you're
Okay.
okay. We can still hear you.
Let me bring my mic closer. I'm not gonna be able to wear my headset, but let me bring my mic closer. Hold on.
Unless you put a towel on your head or something.
I got it in my eyebrow, dude. We're running with it. Let's go.
All right, you can still hear. All right, let's go. All right,
Still here,
Bucks.
let's go.
Bucks 27-19 win. Oh man, Spencer Rattler was looking like MVP before the end of that game. He didn't have the clutch gene and couldn't come through at the end. We talked about before stream, I believe, them tightening up in coverage and throwing more at him, right?
Yeah, they really tightened up over the middle of the field, and Spencer Rattler is not used to hitting those boundary shots, and he looked terrible throwing them on Sunday in the second half.
All right, hang on one second.
Yeah. Well, you're all good. But yeah, Buccaneers locking up that 3 seed to play the Commanders at that 6. Honestly,
Let's go.
more favorable for them than the Vikings would be, in my opinion, but both tough squads nonetheless, and I'm excited to see what Jaden does against this defense.
Yeah, because in week 1, he was Todd Bowles was sending a lot of pressure at him. He was a little bit rattled. That was his first NFL game. I mean, he still played mistake-free football, but he was running around a lot. I think he ran for his first rushing touchdown that week, and now we'll see how he does. Bring your mic a little closer, bro, just so we can. I mean, we can hear you, but I just want to make sure everyone can hear you.
Yup.
All right. So, anyways, we'll talk about the Bucks. They win. They lock up the South with help from the Panthers, playing freaking hero ball in OT against the Falcons, and literally Raheem Morris back-to-back weeks in overtime not getting the ball. Other teams going down scoring on his defense. Jesus Christ.
And as a defensive-minded coach, you just got to be better than that, flat out. I mean, Bryce Young has been playing amazing lately, to say the least, and you still can't allow 44 points to a team that only had 4 wins coming into the game. You're next to your home crowd, and you fumble that bad. It's just not a good look for the franchise.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Bucks get the 3 seed and host Washington, like you said. Mike Evans got 1,000 yards on a drawn-up play at the end of the game. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, throw something easy, throw something so you can get these yards real quick. Don't throw an interception here." It would have been crazy to see if that happened. Baker throws a pick, they get a touchdown, they end up losing the game. That would have been crazy. That would have been just the way that things go. Yeah. Do you want to clean up? Do you want to? You can go ahead and do that if you want to put your mic back on. Now you want to keep going?
Now let's rock.
Rock and roll. All right. Commanders, we're going to talk about the Mariota show here today. He came in relief of Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels only completed half his passes. He was getting blitzed. I think he got sacked 4 times in the first half.
Really early. Yeah.
So it was Mariota coming in and running the show. Big fourth down run at the end of the game. Pretty ballsy on his part. Malik Hooker got caught in the background celebrating like Tyreek Stevenson back when the Bears blew that Hail Mary against the Commanders. So I guess Malik Hooker thought he was, better than Tyreek Stevenson, even though he let him go and Marcus Mariota ran right past him. I don't remember who exactly came up with the tackle, whether it was him or Deron Bland or anything like that, but surprised it wasn't a touchdown. If Mariota had the wheels Jaden does now, like if he was a little bit faster like he was back in his rookie and sophomore year when he ran for that, I think 80-yard touchdown when he was back as a Titan. When he ran for that touchdown, he would have definitely went to the house on this one, but age is definitely taking a step from him.
Yeah, and I mean, still quite an impressive run, and then that touchdown throw at the end to Terry, where he gets that shin down. That's textbook ball, and Terry's been great all year, especially within the red zone. I think he has the second most receiving touchdowns all year, outside of Jamar Chase. So really good, reliable red zone threat. Commanders locking up that 6 seed with they would have had it locked up due to the Bears' help too, but locking it up to themselves is even better.
Well, I'll also tell you, second most receiving touchdowns, I believe you said, behind Jamar Chase, but he is a franchise leader in receiving touchdowns. I believe with 13, right?
Okay.
So
just season record.
Yeah, I think he's in. Yeah, he's in record. I think 1,096 yards and 13 TDs. If I'm not mistaken. Good for the young man.
Yeah.
With an actual quarterback, another 1,000-yard season for the young guy. Let's go. I hope he stays the Commander for life. Let's go ahead and get on the Packers. 11 appearances versus the Packers, and they finally win on a last-second field goal in Lambeau in 18 degrees. Wind chill was probably worse than that. Caleb Williams and the Bears deliver. It's huge. Like Peyton was saying, it's good playoff implications for the Commanders. If the Packers lost, we move up to the 6th seed. They move down to the 7th seed. Oh, they helped us out. But, I mean, we helped ourselves out. So, either way, final tally. Bears limited from playoffs. They've been for a long time. They literally lost, I think, what was it? 11 games in a row.
Yep. 11 straight in Lambeau.
All right. So now they're 4-13, I believe, or 5. They're 5-12. One of those two. Anyways,
I believe they're 5-12 because they were 4 and I think they were 4-2 at one point.
Yeah, they were 4-2. They lost 10.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 10 and then they won. They were basically leading with the Giants, I think, for most losses. I think it was most losses, right? Or was there a worse team out there?
No, they were always a win above the Giants for most part of the season, and then the Giants had caught up to them with that win.
Oh no, I meant like losing streak wise. Like, was it like a 10 game? I think that was the most for both teams, and I think that was the most in the league this year. I'm not entirely mistaken. I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, let's go ahead and move on from that one. Good win for the Bears. I'm sure they're really savoring it. That's really probably the highlight of their season right there. Get Caleb Williams a better offensive line and an actual competent coach, please. We don't want to see him falter, in year 2.
Yeah, and this is the coaching cycle to do it. They have the cream of the crop at the top, and whether it's Ben Johnson, whether it's Mike Vrabel, whether it's Pete Carroll, they just need to get someone in there that can change that culture of their team. Someone who's QB friendly, someone who's, driven to make this a better culture because the Bears have been so bad for so long.
Yeah, for sure. Poor Bears. Hate to see teams being horrible and they kick out of their own way. I know there's a lot of other bottom dwellers. I know the Commanders were bottom dwellers for a while. The Giants are kind of iffy. We'll look at NFC South teams too. Panthers have been kind of bottom of the barrel really for a while. Just hate to see it, man. You hate to see teams struggle so bad, especially in the pros. The pros, you're supposed to come here and be able to play your best ball. Some of these pros don't even they should even be flipping burgers at McDonald's. But
yeah, a lot of it's situation, a lot of it's on them, a lot of it's the pros are just too big. So multi-factor conundrum in the NFL for sure.
Right. All right. So I got the seedings right here. Obviously we're looking at Chiefs number 1. They have their bye. Bills are 2. Ravens are 3. Texans are 4. Chargers are 5. Love the Chargers,
Yeah.
man.
Love that
looking
Chargers
good.
won and moved up because smacking the Raiders on Sunday was perfect for that. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Raiders, their general manager was fired just after 1 season, Tom Telesco. But you know, with Antonio Pierce being fired, they're literally cleaning shop. Mark Davis is not playing around. Mark Davis is trying to get his man. Steelers are number 6. Broncos are 7. Literally, Steelers backed into the playoffs, man. If you want to talk about a team that backed in, the Steelers are prime contenders right there. All right, so we got Lions at 1 for the NFC, Eagles at 2. Those were locked. The only ones that really changed were 3 and 4 Buccaneers and Rams. 5 and 6
weren't locked. They had to beat the Vikings, but yes.
No, I'm saying 3 and 4 wasn't. They weren't locked. It was only 1 and 2. 6 and 7.
One wasn't locked.
Huh? Oh yeah, one wasn't locked. That's right. That's right. My bad. Thanks for correcting.
No, you're good.
All right, so we got Vikings 5, Commanders 6, and Packers 7. Right? What the hell?
Yeah.
It's just weird to see because they're. Yeah, whatever. 11 and 4. Okay.
No, Packers are a really good team.
Yeah. And I wonder how they're gonna do with faring against Philly this week. So
yeah, they got to get that run game started with Josh Jacobs, and hopefully Jordan Love can play a really good playoff game like how he was playing last year against the Cowboys. They need a game reminiscent of that if they're gonna knock off the Eagles, because Eagles are a juggernaut when Jalen Hurts is healthy.
anything else you want to talk about playoffs? You got any surprise predictions or whatever you want to throw in there?
Let's just take a look ahead and let's just run through our in-game predictions with each other. We can go game by game, starting with the earliest one of the slate, looking at Chargers Texans, and I'll have you go first for that one. I'm sure I have a little bias to give, so give me your score prediction and yeah.
All right, so I was talking about it with one of our stream buddies last night when we're on Trap. If you don't have that channel, go follow it. Trap Enthusiast here. We do games, but I was talking about it with him a little bit because he was kind of curious on, the Texans are kind of like no man's land in my opinion. I think the Chargers win. I feel like they're a more complete team. They're getting hot at the right time. Didn't they win their last 2, I believe? And
I believe we won our last 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, since that freaking Thursday night win, they've been on fire. Really, I like them. I think they stay aggressive in the playoffs. I think they go to Houston and I think they put belt to ass. But I'd say if I had to pick a score prediction, right, I would say. Hang on a second. I'd say Chargers 27, Houston 17.
Okay. So expected a big win, 10-point win. Okay.
Yeah. I think Jay Herbo throws for 2 TDs. J.K. Dobbins hits 1 on the ground, over 100 yards. I feel like Texans just to sputter in the third quarter. I feel like that's where y'all take advantage and go ahead. I feel like it's kind of deadlocked until third quarter. I'd say maybe 14 all. You hold them to 3 points. Give me yours. Let's go.
Okay, I respect the confidence. Trying to be as confident as possible being a Charger fan. Those two typically don't go together. However, this year, hoping for it to be a different story. Chargers right now are favored by 3. And kind of looking around that edge, I like the Chargers 24-20 in this one. Going on the road, facing a blitz-heavy, blitz-happy Texans defense is going to be a little hard because our offensive line is a little banged up, especially with Rashawn Slater on the left side. Looks like he's a full-go in practice, though. So I think our edges should be held down a little bit against the likes of Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. And hopefully the interior and linebacker group of the Texans doesn't wreak too much havoc. And then really have to watch out for Derek Stingley on Ladd McConkey. But on the contrary side, you got CJ Stroud going up against a cover 4 heavy Chargers team who's going to drop back in coverage and force him to hit throws over the middle of the field, which honestly, he's going to be looking at Nico Collins and Joe Mixon all day. The Chargers are going to filter it to them and see
Nico
how we
Collins.
lie, but
You think that Nico Collins gets still in coverage for sure?
I think that he's honestly going to draw Cam Hart more in coverage.
Yeah.
Just because Cam Hart's more of our boundary corner. Jasir Taylor, one of our other outside corners, he's going to be out this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we mix up the looks against Nico Collins at all, because he does line up, feels like, on every part of the field. So if it's slot, then yes, still can roll over and take care of that. But on the outside, I believe Cam Hart's going to be on Nico Collins most of the game.
All right, so let me drop some knowledge on you right now. Public Opinion has the Chargers at a 73% odds to win, -3 against this, well, -3 for the spread. 71% public bet on the money line for the Chargers. Really, they have no faith in Houston at all, and honestly, I wouldn't either in the playoffs. But I think they're saying it's going to be. Let me see. Is that over 42.5?
Probably. It's just over or under. They set the line in the same thing. So
yeah, 81% at the over. I take that. Well, I did say 27-17. Yeah.
Yeah, your score prediction did go a little bit over.
All right, so yeah, then that seems about right. Then 27. Yeah, that seems about right. I feel like CJ Stroud throws 2 picks on the day. Probably staring down Nico Collins or Joe Mixon, like you said, and ends up getting a route jumped. But that's public opinion right now as of Thursday the 9th. We'll see how it goes later on. I would definitely take one Joe Mixon touchdown, but I think J.K. Dobbins and Jay Herbo go off. And Ladd McConkey gets one of those 2.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope for it.
There you go.
Moving on to this next game, Steelers-Ravens, battle division rivals. They've seen each other. This will be the 3rd time this year. How do you feel in regards to this game?
Divisional rivals, huh? So Steelers backed into the playoffs, and then Lamar Jackson has a playoff kind of kryptonite. So it's going to be kind of like a clash. Whichever team decides to wake up and get off the bus first. I can tell you what the public bet is. Public bet's it's close to 50-50, but it's 56-44 to Ravens. And on the other side, we're looking at the money line. Well, the over 43.5 is 75%. Money line is straight bet 90% on Ravens. So I think with the way the Steelers have been kind of backing in and dropping these duds, I feel like Ravens take the win. I feel like Derrick Henry goes for a touchdown. Like you said, the run defense has been stout for Pittsburgh, one of the best teams in the league as far as run defense goes. But I feel like they can't. I feel like they just don't contain Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in this one. I feel like playoff football is going to be a different atmosphere as opposed to regular season ball between the 2 clubs. So, what are your thoughts on that game?
What's your score prediction?
All right, score prediction. I'm gonna go 20-17 Ravens.
Really close one. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close, and I think it's gonna be under 43.5 in my opinion.
Yeah, so. And I definitely follow that under. My score prediction's actually pretty damn close to yours. I'm picking the Ravens 19-13. Kind of a weird one.
Yeah, it sounds like an ugly score.
Really weird score in general. I just believe this is going to be a defensive slugfest. seeing that Zay Flowers is out this week, Lamar doesn't have a lot of people to throw to outside of Mark Andrews. Rashad Bateman has been known to step up in some moments. However, as a bona fide one, I wouldn't really trust him too much. And then Derrick Henry's had his couple of his least inspiring performances against Pittsburgh this year. I mean, one game he went off, and one game he played pretty damn. My apologies for talking out of my butt, but one game he went really good. One game was for him. So
Yeah, well, look,
kind of
dude, look, bro, it's week 8. It's week 18. We're about to go into the playoffs. It's not like anyone else doesn't talk out of their behind on games like this too and takes. It's a take for a reason, man. But
yeah,
whether they agree with it is, their choice. But
yeah,
you have some pretty damn
definitely
good
agree
takes,
with you
so
on the under.
yeah, the
Definitely
under
agree with you on the under. So
for sure. All right, I
Okay.
turned you up. I turned you up a little bit so we can hear you a little bit more. I got
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, I got you up here in the yellow, so we can actually listen to you. When we do shorts and stuff, we'll see if Tia can do like an audio enhancement, but you should be fine.
Trying my best.
Oh yeah, no, you're good, man. All right, tomorrow's games. Commanders and Buccaneers are the favorites, so we'll go for them last. That's a late night game, huh?
Oh yeah, I thought you were skipping through the morning games.
Oh no. They have CBS Sports has as my favorite. It's my favorite team, so we'll talk about
He's
them
happy.
last. Happy that we're finally in the playoffs. Yes. Denver versus Buffalo. All right. Bo Nix's first game as a playoff caliber team since 2015 when the freaking Broncos won the Super Bowl on Cam Newton's fumble. So, the first game that Denver's back in the playoffs. We're looking at right now plus 8.5 for Denver. Odds we're hitting up Buffalo at minus 8.5, 59%. The money line is taking Buffalo at a staggering 92% for public bet. Damn.
Sounds about right.
No faith in Bo Nix and Sean Payton? In that defense?
No. I mean, maybe the Broncos defense could pull something, but I don't know.
We're looking at it over. The 84% on the over, so it's 47.5. Me? I don't see it. I don't see the over. So I'm looking at Bo Nix throwing 2 picks, 1 touchdown. First game in the playoffs. I think Mims gets that touchdown. I believe personally. I think the score is going to be like 30. Well, not 30. I'd say like 27-14. Really.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I think James Cook goes in for 1. Stephon Diggs goes for another. No, just kidding. Oh no, I'm not that stupid. I know Diggs ain't on there. Let me look at Shakir. Let me see something. Okay.
Oh, he looking.
I'm looking. All right, so
His hair gel, dude. Oh my god. Got my hair stiffer than a fucking board, dude.
yeah, it's good for it though. All right. I don't have touchdown predictions because honestly, I mean, I could say Dalton Kincaid can get 1. Shakir, remind me of who that is. I hate to say that, but remind me of who that is.
Khalil Shakir, he's
Khalil
their
Shakir.
slot wide receiver. Little guy, he's speedy.
He's their top threat, really.
Yeah, no, he's had a really good year.
Yeah, 4
Him,
touchdowns, long
Keon
52 yards.
Coleman. Amari Cooper's on that team, but he hasn't looked too impressive.
Can't say we're surprised. I mean, he has 2 touchdowns on that. 2 touchdowns so far. If Amari Cooper gets a touchdown, I mean, it would be kind of like a FU to the Browns, right? Or an FU to whatever team he's been on that, he's actually on a playoff team and they're winning. So, 27-14, I believe the game gets out of hand after the first 25-ish, well, the first 20 minutes, I feel like the defense scores a touchdown off of one of his pick sixes. It's probably a big, crazy, like, slobbering of the Bills right now, but 27-14 is my final prediction. Bo Nix, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Josh Allen, I'd say 3 touchdowns, and then 1 on the ground. Well, no, 28-14. Let's leave it right. So, no field goals. I say 28-14. James Cook gets a touchdown, and Josh Allen throws for 3.
Okay. Okay, I respect that, and I'm coming real close with your total with my prediction. I have a little more bold prediction than even you do. I'm going 31-10 Bills.
Ooh, damn.
Just
Freaking
because
Broncos,
the
man.
Bills, yeah, the Bills are known to come out hot the last couple playoff games in their first round series, at least. Albeit they've played the Patriots, they've played Miami, a couple defenses who haven't been as stout as the Broncos have been. But I believe a lot of shortened drives by the Broncos will lead to a lot of time of possession for the Bills, who I think have a lot of success in the running game. And this Broncos team, in my opinion, isn't really built for a playoff atmosphere. You need 2 key factors when it comes to the playoffs, and that's your defense tightening up and a solid run game. You need to control pace, and the Broncos have a really, really bad running game this year. And a lot of their running game has just been extended by short passing game that Bo Nix has played. But against the Bills, I don't think it's going to be as successful. And I think the Bills comfortably handle them at home.
All right. Let's get on to the next one. 4:30 game, I believe. Philly.
4:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for you Arizona and California times out there.
Delay.
We're hitting the East Coast. All right, Philly at home versus the Green Bay Packers. I'm gonna throw bias out the window on this one, and I'm just gonna say I think Philly at home. I feel like Saquon Barkley goes off for 2 TDs. Jalen Hurts comes back in and pushes for another. I feel like he throws for 1, so that's 28 so far. I feel like Jordan Love, he's playing, right?
Jordan Love's, yeah, he's playing.
I feel like it's like a 28-21 game. Or I could say 31 to 28 game. No, 31 to 20. Okay, 31-21 prediction. Eagles firmly control, no lead changes. Eagles take it out the gate. And I feel like the Packers try to catch up and they can't. Eagles dominate time of possession with Saquon Barkley running the ball. I hate to say it, I think Jordan Love, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, really pretty much ineffective. I feel like the Eagles lock him down. Cooper DeJean locks him down. Reed Blankenship on that side locks him down. And Dallas Goedert's coming back too, I believe. I feel like he gets involved.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, I feel like he gets involved as well. Maybe for the one of the other touchdowns. So it's 1 touchdown to Goddard from Jalen, a tush push for Jalen, and 2 for Saquon, I believe. That's what I said, right?
Yep.
Saquon goes over 150 yards in this game, I believe. I feel like the Packers don't have answers for him and stop him. I feel like, honestly, the Eagles take it at home. Honestly, bias aside, Eagles take it at home, 31-21. Not really much to say on it. Odds are really saying that, Eagles -5. The public bet is 63%. Money line is straight Eagles, 87%. Barely giving the Packers any credit. It's a -222 on the bets. And it's looking like it's over 45.5, which is, I believe that's what I predicted. Yeah, over 45.5.
Yeah.
I predicted 50, 52, I believe, or.
Yep.
So, what do you take?
I really like that prediction.
Yeah, what are you taking on that game, my dude?
So I agree with everything you just said. My score prediction is just 3 points off of yours. It's 31-24 Eagles. I think the Packers get a late touchdown that kind of makes this game closer than it'll actually be. I haven't really. Jordan Love has been playing a lot better as of recently. I haven't liked what I've seen from him the past 2 games, and I just don't trust the explosives on the Packers side to create enough big plays to make this a competitive one. Christian Watson going down with that torn ACL. Now you're relying on Jaden Reed and a bunch of B or C list receivers as your number twos. I just think it's an uninspiring pass attack against a really good Eagles secondary who's played their butts off this year. And I think Packers stroll into the end zone late with like 2 minutes remaining to cut it from 31-17 to 31-24. But
Yeah.
outside of that, I think this game is pretty uncompetitive.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it too. Jordan Love's been kind of battling injuries. I mean, he got an elbow stinger, I believe, last week. But Jalen's kind of he's been out of the lineup for the last couple weeks. Do you think we have any issues with gelling and consistency with his receivers, or do you think they just pick back up where they left off?
I think that the running game of the Eagles is so good, and they're going to simplify things if things get tough and filter it to Saquon, and I think that helps them in the long run. Even if Jalen Hurts gets off to a bad start, I do believe he picks it up midway through the second quarter, if not after halftime. But I think they're going to just scheme up easy looks early for him. They're going to try to establish the run early, of course, having Saquon. And then they're going to build their bread and butter just off of that.
Okay.
So
Oh.
now it's time. Let's move to your team.
Yeah, the Commanders and Bucks.
You take it away.
Let me stretch that out. All right, so let me try to throw my professionalism into the fold here and throw bias aside. I'm a Commanders fan, yes. Peyton, you're not. This is gonna be the first time you ever see me do this, but I'm just gonna go out straight out with a score prediction. I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna go 30-27 Buccaneers win. Unfortunately, Commanders fans, sorry to say it, but I believe that our run defense doesn't stop Bucky Irving. I feel like he goes off for 2 TDs. Baker Mayfield cuts us up. Marshawn Lattimore is playing, but they also have other receivers that they can get to other than Mike Evans. I mean, they're pretty explosive. I don't know if Cade Otton's playing. Is he playing? Cade Otton?
I don't know. I don't know his status. He's been out recently.
Yeah, but everybody's saying, screw me, right? Public opinion. Excuse me. Money line. Bucks are 66% favored by the public. I mean, we are going into Raymond James Stadium, and the last time we did that was with the Heineke, right? Or no, we won the division, so they came to us. So,
Yep.
2006, when we beat them in Raymond James with Chris Sims and John Gruden and all that, we don't have a Sean Taylor scoop and score moment unless Marshawn Lattimore comes in big. But I will say, it's going to be pretty competitive. It's going to be back and forth. I feel like Buccaneers take a field goal late to win, and leave Jaden Daniels not enough time to get down the field. But at the same time, anytime you play the Commanders, you got to look for until all zeros are on the clock. Just ask the Bears, just ask the Cowboys, just ask the Eagles.
Yeah.
All last second drives to win the game. So let me go ahead and give you some comparison notes here. So I would say Jaden Daniels goes for 50-something yards on the ground, I believe. I believe our running game does not get going, unfortunately. I feel like Brian Robinson doesn't get going. Austin Eckler takes a screen to the house. I feel like I'd say 30-yard screen to the house on a third down toss. With the Bowles blitz in his face, I feel like Eckler takes that in. Terry gets a touchdown, so Eckler and Terry. And I believe Olamide Zaccheaus comes back for his drop pass from last week from De'Ami Brown. Comes back and gets another one. And I think I'd like to see Zach Ertz gets the final touchdown on that one. And then the last two would be the last two scores, 27 and 30 would be 27 would be from 24 to 27 would be the field goal at the end from Gonzalez, but we'll see.
I like to respect it. As far as the logic at the field goal at the end, I think you guys would just try for the touchdown at that point.
Well, I
However,
don't.
I do think you guys go for a field goal and maybe Buccaneers end it with a field goal. Maybe that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's more or less what I was gonna say. Because
Got you.
ain't no way in
Got you.
hell.
Yeah. So
Wolf Tato.
I
Oh, hang on one second. Wolf
sorry.
Tato
Go ahead.
on Wolf Tato on the purple app said, "Nice clear camera, Peyton." She respects it. Love to
Right?
see it.
First time ever you could see the clear freaking messed up hairline and the egg gel in my hair right
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah.
But appreciate it, Wolf Tato.
Been rocking through it. Um,
But
other
yeah,
than that,
I,
yeah.
I
So
I think your analysis was spot on there. My score prediction, we've been hovering close these past couple games, man. 28-27 Buccaneers, in my opinion,
you're
is
pulling a
what I have it
Cynthia.
at right now.
You're pulling a Cynthia Fralund prediction. She always got those 1 point games, 24-23. Do you see a game ended in 24-23, bro? To be honest with you, do you ever really see it? Exactly.
No, no,
But
but I do
nah,
think this one's gonna be a thriller,
yeah, I
no
respect
matter
it.
what.
I don't.
I want to see the Commanders win just because, you know what? Fandom unite. I love the Commanders. I love how Jaden's playing, and I honestly think it's a very winnable game for both teams.
Yeah,
But
Todd Bowles. I think Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are the last team you really want to see in the playoffs. Just to start it, at least, and they're predicting too here. It's going to be a high scoring shootout. Baker Mayfield wouldn't mind. Dude can throw. Dude can throw with the best of them, and at the same time, he is likely to throw some picks. So I'd say Baker Mayfield, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Marshawn Lattimore gets the best of Evans once. I was gonna say Mikey Sanders still, but I think the Evans to Lattimore thing is gonna be kind of forced. I think they're gonna try to target him early and often. But
yeah, yeah, no, I can definitely see that too. But again, either side of the coin, I just want to see a beautiful game, and I think that's what we're gonna get. This might be the best game on the slate this weekend, in my opinion. So
that's probably why they threw it for Sunday night. But at the same time, I'm gonna look at it right now. As a Commanders fan, I want us to win. I want to be happy going forward. But at the same time, we went from 4-13. This season was a success already,
yep.
and literally clinching the playoffs on Josh Harris's 60th birthday is huge. So shout out to that man. I mean, the 76ers aren't doing the greatest with under his control. Maybe he should sell those teams and focus on Commanders. But um, Philly fans will probably agree with me on that one. Get him out of there. Get somebody else in there. He's putting all his focus and time into the Commanders, and it seems like the rest of his teams are struggling to really. I mean, the Devils. I think the Devils are still doing okay, but um, don't really have stats on that one. Kind of just spitballing that one out of the blue. Um, Back to the predictions here. Public
Just one
bet.
left.
Well, yeah, but I'm still gonna go over those public bets and stuff. I mean, they did say the money line was Commander 66%. The over 50.5, and I believe my score prediction was the exact same, over 54.5. Well, 50.5. 74% is taking that bet. They're taking that cheese right there. Um, Washington is public betting 75% at the +3. So,
Sounds about right.
yeah, 3 point games. You predicted a 1 point. I predicted 3. So we'll see how it goes. Honestly, I'm gonna be ready to watch it. I cannot wait. I wanted to order sports jerseys, but we couldn't find any in the area. I mean, there's a sports store that's down the street from us. They barely had it. I think they had a Jaden Daniels T-shirt, and that's it. Because obviously we're in
Oh
Philly's.
goodness.
Yeah, we're in Philly's market. So I said, hell no, I'm not doing that. I just told TS I'd rather you make the shirt if it's gonna come down to that instead of spending $50 for a freaking T-shirt.
100%.
All right, let's get on to this. Was this the last game of the slate, or there's another one? We got Minnesota and Rams.
Last game.
Take it away, big guy. Let's go. You go ahead for this one. I'll tell you what I think after that.
So this one is probably the game I've gone back and forth the most about. Call me crazy. I'm gonna go Rams 21, Vikings 17. And
Dang.
I just think that, yeah, I think Stafford deals with the blitz well from Brian Flores. I don't think Sam Darnold, again, he had a terrible last game, and I don't know where his head's at going into the playoffs. And I rather bet on the surefire Super Bowl winning quarterback, Matthew Stafford, at the end of the day. I feel like he can put together a drive at the end of the game, need be. And Sam Darnold's done the same all year, but again, I know I'm flip-flopping a little bit because Sam Darnold looks so great this year outside of last week.
Yeah, but
But man,
regular season means nothing in the playoffs.
Exactly. So looking to divert that away, and yeah, I'll go Rams 21, Vikings 17. Sounds about right.
Let me hit you with this spread fact right now. As of today, right now, what is it, 6:30, 6 p.m. Eastern time. The public bet is very flip-flopped like you are. Public bet for the spread and against the spread is 50-50. Clean break. And we're looking at Minnesota money line. Wow. 73%. They think the Rams,
goodness. So it's not split.
Well, it's split the for and against the spread, but I'm looking at the money line, the public bet now. The public is saying that Minnesota comes and takes care of business. All right then. And
what do you think?
It's gonna be me. All right, let me tell you after this last one. All right, so the total public bet 82%, over 47.5. And what was your score prediction again?
Mine was 21-17, so quite far under.
Yeah, under. It's not going to be the shootout that they say, in my opinion. I really don't think so. Like you said, we were talking about the Rams last week. Well, before stream, I believe, this week. Not the Rams, the Vikings. Shoot, the Lions figured out the Vikings. They put a blueprint on paper on how to stop Sam Darnold and that Vikings offense. Does that translate well to the Rams defense? I don't know. But at the same time, the Rams defense have held or faltered, because I think in Buffalo they scored 42 points on the Rams defense. At the same time, there's divisional games, and it's not to say that there's one and the same, but the Rams defense had let up maybe a 6-9 game, like real close games. They tightened up when they had to in divisional games, but against the Bills, it's kind of like it was kind of shot for shot. Against the Vikings, I don't see them going shot for shot. I think the Rams come out on top of this one. And I feel like it's going to be. Throw me that score prediction one more time. What you said. I'll tell you.
21-17.
21-17 Rams. I'm going to go 24-14 Rams. And I feel like the Vikings get stifled in the third quarter. The Rams make some good adjustments on defense and get after them and basically make them inept, really. They score 2 touchdowns early in the game. The Vikings do. And I feel like the Rams hold them the rest of the way. They score 2.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a 17-14 deadlock in the halftime, Rams leading. And the Rams just come back and score that last and final touchdown, I believe. That's my pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's just tit for tat in the end of the game, really. I'd say Sam Darnold's a 1 touchdown, 1 pick kind of guy. Matt Stafford's a 1 touchdown, 1 pick kind of guy in the beginning. And I feel like Kyrie goes off, and I feel like Puka's playing, right?
Puka's playing. Cooper Kupp's playing.
All right, Puka's playing. Let's go. All right, Puka gets that touchdown then.
Okay.
And then,
I love the take.
And do you think JJ gets another touchdown on the other side, or what?
Go with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, okay.
Obscure touchdown score, why not? Kinda ish. But yeah, that basically wraps it up for our playoff recap.
Yeah, I mean, we can just hit this breaking news real quick and just run down it real fast because we got some coaching hires, well, not hires yet. We got some fires. Black Monday was crazy. We got some teams that really didn't expect them to fire right away. I mean, I didn't expect Antonio Pierce to get fired, but at the same time, you observed them more than I did. You said that clock management was horrible, team management was horrible all around. At the same time, Raiders fired Tom Telesco. I already said that. Um, GM Terry, I can't say that dude last name. For the Falcons, the Falcons GM is
Ron
comfortable.
Farthon?
No. Falcons GM Terry
Arthur Blank.
Fontenot. No, GM, my bro.
Oh, he's the owner. He's the owner. He's the
Yeah,
owner.
yeah.
I
I on the Thursday night broadcast when we're doing it with HB, I kind of messed up and I said that Woody Johnson was the freaking GM. The Jets. I made a big blunder. Anyways, Terry Fontenot comfortable with Kirk as a backup next year. I hate that move. I think Penix needs more time to develop. I feel like they go back to Kirk next year and see what they got, and then decide. Like maybe after a few games in, then decide.
Kirk is worse than Penix at this point.
Yeah, at this point, but at the same time, Kirk has his hot and cold times. Maybe he can get hot again next year. Okay, yeah, bad take. I get that. Appreciate that. Freaking jerk off.
No, I disagree personally. I think Kirk Cousins had one of the worst touchdown to interception ratios this year.
Yeah, it was like 1-9, I believe, at the end of the last few weeks of him playing. Big Kirko is not Kirko change, but anyways, let's. Josh Allen hopes teams stay away from Joe Brady during the hiring season, and we talked a little bit about this. You want to keep the offense intact, you want to keep the system intact. Josh Allen, their Super Bowl window could potentially close faster without him and that system instilled, depending on how the next system in the regime comes in. But, okay, Ets instead of Jets. I forgot to copy that. Jets, Raiders, request to interview Chiefs, DC Spags for the job. Don't think he gets it though. I don't think he gets on with Raiders. I don't think he gets on with Jets either.
No, I don't think so either.
I think he comes back to Kansas City and just stays if he can. Bears.
He does want to be coached really bad though.
He does, yeah. So did Eric Bieniemy, but you saw what happened there. He got fired, I believe, from UCLA,
but same LA. It's LA area.
Y'all got too many damn schools down there, man. Get right. Get one. Just kidding. All right. Bears interview Pete Carroll for the open head coaching position. I feel like he should go to New England. I think he should return to New England and get back to it. I think you said he was a little old, but at the same time, so maybe he can instill something up there. Yeah, he can instill something up there. I feel like Pete Carroll. I feel like the Bears and Pete Carroll aren't really that great of a fit, in my opinion. I feel like Eagles, yeah. The Bears need a younger, more energetic, pep in their step head coach to really turn around and get people to buy in. I feel like they don't listen to some old geezer and Pete Carroll. I mean, you go from Bill Belichick to Gerard Mayo, it's kind of the same step. Like you want a younger, more fresh coach, but I feel like you get that experience in Pete Carroll and things start to go the right way in New England.
Yeah, I think Pete would be fine anywhere. I just think he's old, so I don't know how long he's going to be able to coach. Just because, again, he stepped away from coaching because of his age originally. So
that man got a double AARP membership right there. Jalen Hurts returns to practice this Wednesday ahead of the wild card weekend versus the Packers. You think they try to headhunt him early in this game? No. All right.
No.
Maybe. Any chance to win a playoff game, I guess. Their Super Bowl window is closing, in my opinion, as well. The Packers. How much longer can LaFleur hold it together?
I mean, I don't really think it's on. I think LaFleur's been a great coach. It's just they really need an alpha wide receiver one. Maybe they try to go after Tyreek this offseason. you know, with how that situation's unfolded in Miami and him saying he's basically out and him quitting on the team mid-game as well. So he's as good
Yeah.
as gone, and I'm shocked to see, you know, who gets him.
Do you watch Mike McDaniel's interviews and just think, how the hell is this freaking dude a head coach? He literally sounds like he's freaking blazed 95% of the time. Because I could do a better job. I mean,
Too laid back. He's a really good offensive
yeah,
mind, but he doesn't adjust well, and he's not. I don't think he's meant to be a head coach. He'd be better suited as an offensive coordinator for sure.
yeah, that's one of the Shanahan tree disciples that kind of failed a little bit. But I mean, Miami will probably give him another chance. Miami will keep it going, and they'll see what they have. I mean,
They've made a statement that they'd retain him, and they probably would have made the playoffs had Tua been healthy this year, but that's outside of the point.
yeah, but the
Their
thing is
ceiling only goes so high.
yeah, like you said, the ceiling only goes so high, and the adjustments only go so high. Lily, y'all success makes or is made or broken by Tua. Your lighting kind of went out, my dude.
All good. Let me pop it up again.
Looking kind of like a zombie, my guy.
Oopsies.
All right, we're heading a little bit over this hour. It's a little longer than we expected, but we'll keep going. We just have a couple pieces of news to wrap up, and then we'll let y'all go and let y'all enjoy y'all weekend. We gotta make some stuffed chicken breast for dinner with broccoli and cheese inside, man. It's about to be good as hell. Homemade stuffed chicken.
Ooh.
Yep.
Chicken broccoli cheddar.
Chicken broccoli cheddar. Yep. That's probably one of the better stuffed chicken. Cheddar broccoli. Yeah, chicken broccoli cheddar. Same thing. It's like people saying peanut butter sandwich jelly instead of peanut butter jelly sandwich. All right. Let's go with Raiders firing head coach Antonio Pierce. Good players guy, but just didn't pan out. Not really much to say about it. The Raiders were 4-13 for a reason. Titans fired general manager Ron Carthan after 2 seasons. Carthan, say it as you will. You know, saying my accent was the reason why I mispronounced that. I don't care. You heard it here. Well, you heard it here if you didn't hear it already. Colts Gus Bradley out after 3 seasons. See, I forgot it. Like I said before, I forgot about that man. Did not even realize that he was even still coached around the league.
Yeah, he's just been so bad that he's not notable.
Yeah, total lackluster on his part. And speaking of our DC fire, Luann Romo, out after 6 seasons in Cincy. You want to do your take on that one? I know you said he was decent with the Super Bowl run, but ever since then it's been kind of like down the crapper, really.
Yeah, and I think he deserves another DC spot at another place, you know, kind of a fresh beginning, if you will. I just think that Bengals team, you don't have a lot of studs on that defense outside of Trey Hendrickson. So, and honestly, I believe the GM should fire. I mean, the Bengals should fire their GM as well, because of the defensive players he has drafted have been terrible, and it hasn't complemented Anarumo's scheme. So.
Well, then can you really blame Romo? I guess he was just a scapegoat.
Exactly. I believe he was a scapegoat a little bit. But again, his defense was bad this year. So.
All right, 1 second. All right, we're about to wrap up here, and then I'll come up and join you and help you with that. But Bears request to interview Cowboys Mike McCarthy for the head coach position. Yes, he's still technically under contract, but it expires in a few days, so that's why they're requesting. I feel like he's not a good fit there. I mean, he does have experience against the NFC North, and maybe that can help, but I feel like it's an entirely different looking division since he was there last. There's actually hot teams, and it's not just the Packers for once, but Seahawks fire Ryan Grubb after 1 season. You hate to see it because, you know, the offense hasn't been great, but there's been flashes, and at the same time, now it's time for those Seahawks players to learn a whole new system and have some overinflated expectations for next year. Do we see Howell start, man? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh man,
Sam Howell was bad at football.
we were good to get rid of him, I guess. I guess Eric Bieniemy kind of masked his flaws a little bit, but at the same time, he was getting sacked the most in the league in his system, and he had his things about him. But I'm glad we got our guy in JD5. So last piece is Aaron Glenn said screw the Patriots while declining the interview for the Pats coaching job. Well, not while, he didn't actually say that. That's my take. That's yours too, I believe. Screw the freaking Patriots, man. I don't want to go up there
Yeah,
with the
just
Robert
gross
Kraft line.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let me go ahead and look something up real fast. I didn't want to really bring that up here, but let me see if we have any breakings as of late, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, the fires in Los Angeles saying that State Farm Stadium might be a possible venue. So I think we touched about that earlier.
Yeah, prayers to the Palisades, prayer to the Hollywood Hills, anyone who's lost their home during this time, anyone who's been impacted by fires, family members, etc. Feel for you and everything. Have a lot of family back home in California, not near the fires, thank goodness, but still at the same time very serious situation. So,
Well, all right, guys. Anything you have left to say, Peyton, for our viewers or anything like that? So I think what we have here is good. I think we're all wrapped up, and enjoy Wild Card Weekend, and hope your team prospers like ours. So hopefully we can get through. Just another fan like you guys. This was JDB Sports on a special Thursday segment instead of doing Saturday. You guys enjoy your weekend. Peyton, thanks for being a man of your word with that egg challenge. Good camera and mic coverage today. Fantastic. We'll be back here next Saturday to wrap up things and to go into the divisional round. Even if our teams don't prosper, we'll still be here to cover it. We don't leave just because our teams do. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good one.
Chargers Commanders. Boom.
Let's go.